G'day team, welcome to another video. The Valorant NA Challenges Open Qualifier is on right now, and this particular match that we're about to review caught my eye because of this comp from Oxygen. Killjoy, Fade, Viper, Astra, and Sage. Zero duelist, double controller, double senti. And they had a game plan that they definitely committed to, and it worked really well for them, going up 9-3 in the first half with them on defense. As you'd expect, this is a bit more of a defensive sided comp. And let's have a look at some of these rounds where they absolutely dominated Mochi Fan Club and stuck to their strategy. Okay, so first round we're going to look at is round 3, bonus round for Oxygen. Really strong second round. They get to keep 4 guns coming into this bonus for them on round 3. And, you know, most teams tend to try and make an aggressive play on their bonus round, and Oxygen is going to make a small attempt at that to see if they can catch anything off guard, but they're not going to commit too aggressively. And what they end up doing is setting up this really nice trap for the rest of their team, and the way they play out this mid round is really nice. So you can see up B long, Fade and Viper, they're going to come up here along with the help from the Astra smoke, get the molly and the Fade haunts, and they get out of there real quick after nothing happens. Quick rotates happen here from Mochi as they try and get over to the A site really quickly. And you can see the setup on the A site. Astra Killjoy, absolutely insane to try and get through. We also have Pony here in art supporting this push, being able to play off of this turret. So we have Star here, Molly, Alarm Bot, another Molly for the plant here as well. And also this is sort of on this side, so it's tough to push through here as attackers. Super deep holds from everyone. This is a turtle comp at its finest, and the Killjoy and the Astra, all they're doing here is they're going to try and stall and play off their util a little bit, and they're actually playing this little crossfire as well. So as Mochi actually make their way into the site, they haunt out, they destroy the turret. Great. Sage Orb is going to really slow down that push as well. The smoke comes in to help with that, and now Pony's playing this one out angle here, and eventually slows that and gets away. He's smoked off, so he gets out, and they're going to commit to turtling here and playing as a group for this turtley retake. You see all of this util gets dumped as they come into sight. The KO knife, because they're playing so far back, you know, they're all the way back here. The KO knife only tags Astra. It doesn't get Killjoy. So Killjoy is able to pop her mollies and everything. And they force this plant to not even go to the default site. Actually sort of works out kind of well for Mochi here, because Mochi's Fade doesn't get spammed by Oxygen's Astra. And right up the back of site, you can see Killjoy's playing just this little jiggle angle with the Sheriff, looking to find a one-tap, trying to find someone overextending, punishing, swinging. And that's exactly what they get. Randy comes through, gets that one-tap, and just off of that contact, Pony swings through this side of the smoke, creating this angle just for the back of sight. Just as this contact's being made, if anyone was swinging through back of sight, they'd all be able to swing out and have a 3v whatever angle in this backside area. And so Pony unable to be traded. Everything's just jiggling. Randy goes a little bit too wide. He does have the weakest gun, so it's not bad that he's taking first contact. All of his utils also down, so him just trying to take a fight off of Pony's contact, not bad at all here. Continuing on though, as you can see, Pony's just been jiggling this whole angle. And this whole time, Verno, the Astra, has been just hanging out in dugout, just looking to survive. He's been able to play this cross angle with Killjoy to stop anyone just like running around and killing him. And now that the team is approaching, now the retake happens. They've actually got themselves into a numbers advantage, 4v3. It was 5v3 for a moment, but Randy getting traded out. And as you can see, Mochi has now been split up. They've got to worry about all these different angles, but Oxygen is all coming in from the one, and they're all going to explode out off of this Prowler. You can see that Prowler comes out, and now look at everyone from Oxygen just pushing onto site all together. They swing this all together very perfectly. Just really nice retake. Leaning into the strength of this comp, where they're able to just create a lot of congesting util and burst all out of it at once. Between the C's, KJ mollies, Viper mollies, Gravity Well, and the concussion from Astra, the Sage slow orbs as well, there's a lot of just area control. They're able to make a lot of things really uncomfortable for their opponents to play in. Okay, so it gets to round 8, and Mochi gets to the point where they just go full send, and they try and counter this comp and this turtle strategy, because up until this point, except for one round, Oxygen's been playing this mega turtle kind of strategy. So Mochi are trying to find an answer. They haven't been able to find one as of yet. As you can see, the score is 6-1. They get themselves into long, and this is a solo Sage op on B.
Here, you are divided.
They get the Astral Wall out, ultimate number 1.
Run.
They get the Killjoy out, ultimate number 2.
Here.
And Pony just gives up the site, more than happy to give it up. So does Scuba. They all come back, and look at how well Oxygen is like regrouping here, getting ready to retake the site. Mochi say, nah, we're sick of this. We've been in this position all match where all 5 Oxygen members are just outside of sight. We're going to go and deal with this. So they prep the Fade ult and they full send all the way deep into spawn.
Face your fear.
And it's not even enough. Look at this push. 3-man push all the way up into spawn. They get shut down by Pony with the op. And they're caught in this position in hell where they kind of got nowhere to go. The Killjoys above them. They've got people coming in through B link. And then KO and KJ are out in B main. And so we have this kind of squabbly kind of fight. Brandy peeks out and tries to go ham. Over peeks a little bit there. Gives KO his ultimate. So that's the 4th ultimate of this round for Mochi. And you can see now they just get pinched. They try and trap them in here with the Sage Wall. Their only way out, think about this. Their only way out of this is to break through this Sage Wall, which is in CT, and go to heaven. They're trying to go through like this. That's their only way. That's just so mental. The pressure that they have in this round. Oxygen. Doggo tries to get, or Dojo tries to get the KO res. Mitch and Pony clean up the round. So 4 ultimates. They go all the way into their spawn, and it's an overextension. And it's just the kind of play that through Oxygen's turtling strategy that they've been so successful with throughout this whole game. That's the kind of reaction that they've been able to elicit out of Mochi. The desperation to go that deep to create some space for themselves, because they know just getting onto site isn't enough for them against this comp. Jumping back to round 6, I want to show you this round because it shows that Oxygen have an understanding of if they just turtle all the time, it's going to be too predictable. So they have a couple of nice little plays out through mid. Throughout the whole defensive half for Oxygen, they're more than happy to give up the mid space and set up these traps outside of Wood Door in B Link and also in Art. And they're also happy to funnel the attackers to the outside of the map and contain this mid control through this trap without having to push out into the main mid area. But in this round, in order to keep Mochi honest, what they do is they walk out mid. And so as you can see, they have 3 players out mid. And one thing that allows them to do this push is that you look at this, you have the Astra on A, and obviously you can do more of an intricate setup here as well. And you have the Killjoy on B with her set up too, and a Viper Wall to assist. So they get the Astra smoke down on shops, and they look to push up into top mid. And so they sort of walk up here, contacting up. And I want to highlight Mitch's play here. So he destroys this Prowler, and look at this haunt that he throws into / just behind the smoke over here. Sets up this whole round for victory. Without that, it's a real tough chance. And as you can see, the smoke pops right as the haunt comes out, signifying that this is a threat over in this area for them. And Doggo is looking right at them, and Pony's able to react to that threat, gets that kill, opening the round. And then Mitch trades out Scuba straight away, and then gets this kill, or gets killed by Jova, and Pony trades that one out and gets the double frag as well, which is really, really nasty. Then Pony, instant reaction, walls this off and heals and reses Mitch and says thank you very much. And it's a great res. They're happy to give up the spike here. You know, a lot of teams I think would get greedy and try and wall off that spike, and potentially Sacred swings that corner right as Pony is trying to get that wall down. But Pony just takes the safe option, walls off that window, gets the res on Mitch, and then Sacred just has to walk down B long. I can skip ahead 10 seconds here for sure, or maybe not. Because he does start running, sorry, apologies. So he starts running, he gets this, and look at this haunt, a second amazing haunt from Mitch, and he just gets taken down through the smoke with the spam. It's a really, really nice round from Mitch, and just the awareness from Oxygen there, knowing the need that they have to change up their strategy just every so often, just change up the pacing, just to keep Mochi on their toes and keep them guessing. Alrighty, so last thing that I want to look at is the second round from both of these halves, where one team is on the pistol and one team has the buy up. Now, I want you to, let's first look at how Mochi plays this. So what they do is they try and get this like little mid trap going in here. They have like an Astra Star here that could be a one-way smoke or a stun or a gravity well as they try and push in. And we have KO up in this position with a judge supported by the jet. Now, this is like a really nice little setup right here. We also have the Astra all the way back on A site and the Killjoy on the B site with the alarm bot and the mollies, and then the Fade is solo in B link supported by the KJ turret. And this is a great setup, but I don't think it's a setup that you need against pistols. There's no need that you need to be taking these kind of risks with Fade being solo, right? So look at this first fight that we get. We get Randy Savage walking up against Orkua. That could have easily been a gun down. And there's no one there to defend this gun. And it could have been a Spectre in the hands of Oxygen and a number down. Number advantage for Oxygen to start the round. So that's the first mistake that Mochi makes. They cleared this back out. They're lucky that nothing gets traded out. But look at Oxygen. They've actually set up a trap play for themselves. They've created this pressure here, and this whole time they've had an extra 3 players looking at this area, backing Randy in. And so what they do now, they've baited out an Astra Star there, so they decide to go into Art, and Jova is here, but because they're a group of 4, they're able to trade out against a judge. And look how forward this death is. So Yoshi has no option but to dash away. Sage gets in there, Pony picks up the judge, and then they start rotating. And now you can see over on B main that the alarm bot is now gone because Scuba's walked up and seen it and triggered it and shot it, so it's gone off. And now Doggo is here in on B alone, needing to worry about this site. Scuba's walking down here with the smoke up. There's no one in heaven to spot him. The alarm bot's down, so he's able to get this really sick timing. Doggo's really, really nervous here. You can see he's trying to clear everything out.
30 seconds left.
Looks up B main. You don't even want to be holding this B main push with a Spectre against potential sheriffs on the pistol round. And Scuba gets this really nice push into there, and then he goes into CT. And if he had just stayed in Hall here, that would have been a really, really nice sort of play. He's trying to get a timing because he is low, and so push. I think once you cross this threshold, there's a point of no return. I think it potentially was the right call to push CT when you are that low health. Also, just guaranteeing that you're picking up the Spectre for the team is not bad either. So weighing up that decision, there's some people that would go one way, some people that would go the other. And now what happens is Orkua tries to capitalize on this and gets one and gets taken out by the judge, pushing on solo onto site in a 1v2 situation. Maybe he's trying to isolate a 1v1 there, but he doesn't wait for his team, and now he gets Pony into this situation where he's got a judge and a very close plant. Pony just sees both of them too, gets the slow orb so he can't be pushed. And health is ticking down for everyone at this point. He actually is able to isolate these fights really, really nicely, managing the timing with the reloads and his own ammo. And they swing individually. They're really scared of swinging into that judge, into U-Haul. And Oxygen managed to win the second round against the buy-up without even forcing. They forced three sheriffs, is what they buy. But it's not like it was 5 stingers or anything. So their economy is now absolutely booming, and Mochi's is in the toilet. Really, really nice round overall from Oxygen. And let's have a look how they converted their second round in the first half. And what you're going to see is pretty much the exact opposite of what you see in the second round, in the second half, where Mochi have the advantage on defense with the guns. So Oxygen have this nice little play with the slow orb here. They have an Astra Star here that can stun and suck or smoke, and then they also support it with the Fade Eye. But as soon as that Fade Eye tags information, what they do is they decide, no, we're going to get out. So they back right out of that. So first thing that you notice is already they've gone for extremity pressure rather than mid pressure. If you like push it, did this same kind of push out of mid, you've got to deal with both of these lanes. But out of A main, you've only got this one lane to deal with. And then as you can see, they pull right back really deep all the way back into sight. So Pony comes to play with Mitch in art, and Scuba goes all the way back down into secret. And you can see the difference here as well. Instead of the turret being here supporting the connector player, the turret's actually just watching B long in this instance. And we have the 2 players here holding B link. This is actually a one-way setup on B link and the alarm bot. So getting to this player's gun is going to be a lot harder because they're fighting here together. And as you can see, Mochi just have to kind of stall. They're going to try and contact up. They're kind of stuck a little bit in A main. They leave the jet behind to try and get a pick. They start rotating over towards the B site. The knife comes in for the KO to scan. 2 of those players, I think, get scanned. I'm not sure if Scuba gets scanned there, but they definitely get Pony. And then they're going to contact into B. Now, Mochi, 50 seconds left on the clock. No kills yet on the board for either team. This is a tough spot for Mochi to be in. And just because Oxygen has just given them nothing, absolutely nothing. So you can see the turret goes off and look at the movement already from them on the A side. They're going to get out of there. They're starting to regroup, right? We don't want to get done by any lurker. So what we do, we sage wall A, we prowler out of art to clear that information, and Scuba is rotating over towards B. Ochi throw this haunt, and then they decide to go back towards mid, and Sacred's trying to get someone pushing out of mid. You can see they're setting themselves up. They're waiting for this push out of 1 to 2 players out of here to try and get a pick. And Oxygen, they just don't give it to them. They just play completely together. Look at their positions now. They've given up both sites at this point. They're really unsure of where it's going to be. And so they're actually just playing to hold mid. If they hold all of this mid area, they can't be cut in half. They can't be lurked through into spawn. They're able to just cover all of their exits and have each other's back, play for that information. And so just because they understand their team comp, they play for certain spaces, and they all just play to protect each other and then play this absolute util dump spam kind of idea, Mochi just get left there with nothing to do. They have to fight through a sage wall. They've only got pistols. There's no free picks. They don't get to upgrade their guns. And that is just the hardest way to win a round when you're given absolutely nothing for free. Oxygen's attacking half with this comp definitely didn't look as strong as their defensive half, and it's not meant to with this comp. They definitely did have some great ideas with dealing with the op in different ways and setting themselves up, going to this B side a lot with the sage wall, recognizing that strength, being able to just walk down without needing that movement dash from the duelists. Definitely a lot harder to go A without any kind of duelist, but you're able to walk onto B a decent amount of time because you've got so much area control. You can clear out a lot of angles with your util and force the defenders out of a lot of the key positions. Playing actually on the B site is really, really hard, but all of the extremities you're able to deal with this comp. So yeah, I thought it was really, really interesting. I love the way that they played it and committed to their game plan. Very, very disciplined. Well played, Oxygen. Looking forward to see how far you guys can go in the rest of the tournament. Good luck and GG's.